It was in 1957 when I was 5 years old. My dad, Dr. Buzz Willett, moved our family from Honoka'a on the Big Island to Lana'i to work here. He was the doctor here for 22 years, and my first memory of living here was coming up around the hill to Howley Camp, or Snob Hill as they called it in those days. To our first brick house is where we lived. And then another year later, after a sister was born, we moved down the street to the big white house at the other end, and my other sister was born. So there were 6 of us kids total here, and we lived there until 1976, at which time we all moved back to the Big Island. And then I returned in 1998 to pioneer run the dialysis center. I was able to get our company to agree to coming over here and setting up a dialysis center, and I ran that center for a while. So you can say I'm kind of following into my father's footsteps, because he was instrumental in bringing Straub here to Lana'i, and I was instrumental in bringing the dialysis center here. And I thank God, because now the patients can have a place here, and that's what's really important in this whole thing. And while I'm doing this video, I want to do 2 songs that I had written. Koeli is one, and the other one is Hulopoe Bay. These 2 songs depict, I was writing these songs when I was living away in Waimea in 1985 and 87, and while I was reminiscing about the island, and how it affected me growing up. And so I want to share this one with you.
But not the island so small and fine.
I also, as I was looking through my things to find enough material for the film, I came across some papers I had written in college, and this one was a story about why the clouds come down to Lana'iHale, and in those days we just called it Lanai. It was so in why the clouds came down to Lana'iHale. And I have Mrs. Mitty E. Harris reading this for me. I really enjoy the way she reads. And I have my grandchildren, Seth, Bradley, and Carter, listening to her as she reads the story.
Okay, I'm going to read you a story. It was written by your Nana in the year 1971. And it's called Why the Clouds Come Down on Top of Lana'iHale. Once, a long, long time ago, there were a lot of giants living on Earth. There was one specific family that lived in the Hawaiian Islands. Each island was a type of room for them to live in. This one island, Lana'i, was the kitchen. It was shaped just right, with a nice flat basin and a high mountain on one side. This mountain served as a stove or oven. One day, the mother giant decided to make ohelo berry jam. As it was cooking on the stove, one of her children got hurt on Maui. Upon hearing her child's screams, she ran to her aid. She was gone a long time and forgot about the jam. All of a sudden, she saw smoke rising on Lana'iHale, so was reminded about the jam. She ran quickly over, but it was boiling all over the stove, and the foam was so thick, it was very hard to remove. So most days in the afternoon, the clouds settled down on top of Lana'iHale, and it is said to be the time of day when the jam boiled over. For that is exactly what it looks like. All top.
This song, Koeli, I had written a couple years later in Waimea, also reminiscing about Lana'i and everything coming back. And so it depicts the feeling of pasture and horses and things like that, and how peaceful the living is and easy living at that time. I worked in the pineapple fields, as all the kids did during the summers. I enjoyed that. It was fun it was very hard work. My hands would be so sore when I went home, but it was good fun because there was camaraderie and a sense of community more, I think, in those days. And I have some pictures, one of me preparing cacao before I left in the morning at 5:30, another one with me in sideline on the working in the fields.
Out of the distance of my mind, a scene appears, nearer and nearer as I remember now. Memory to hold forever, time cannot erase it. Bring anticipation of the next time I will go. Back to Koeli, back to easy feeling, yes, peaceful living. How I love, I love, I love Willett. A rugged jeep, dusty roads mist with the sun, pheasant, deer, and horses on the run. Sometime a light fine mist will come and cool the day, bringing a promise of a rainbow bending low. Back to Koele, back to Lana'i, it's a pine-scented air I'm dreaming of, with Norfolk swaying and pastures waving, as if to welcome me to a home across the sea. And such an easy feeling, yes, peaceful living. How I love, I love, I love Willett. Back to Koele, back to Lana'i. Well, it's the pine-scented air I'm dreaming of, with Norfolk swaying and pastures waving, as if to welcome me to a home across the sea. Such an easy feeling, yes, peaceful living. How I love, I love, I love Willett. How I love, I love, I love Willett. How I love, I love, I love Willett.
I have a paper that I had written in English comp class also in 1971 when I was a freshman in college at Forest Grove, Oregon. Anyway, it's entitled Lana'i, and it says, this is an island on which I have spent my life. The life here is very simple and easygoing. The people speak all sorts of languages, and most come from the Philippines. The population is about 2,700, which makes it a friendly community. The reason so many immigrants are here is because of the pineapple fields. They come to work on the plantation and to make their lives here. Freedom is the reason I like my hometown so much. You are able to do all kinds of things and dress the way you want without somebody bugging you. When you want to be alone, you can go down to the beach or up to the mountains. There's no big hotels, or there weren't then, or stores that make the town gaudy. It's all very plain, with a simple grocery and general stores. Although the tourists are starting to come, I think it would be a big mistake to let them come, because then they'll start building high rises and cheapening the city with a lot of fake things. That was my interpretation years ago as a 17, 18-year-old teenager. It's supposed to be a plantation, and that's what I think they should keep it as. If all the islands of Hawaii get built up, there won't be any real Hawaiian spirit left, and it won't be Hawaii anymore. and that's my paper there. In my teenage days, I worked in the pineapple fields, and I think all the teenagers did, and I think it was very good for us because it prepared me for the hard work I was going to be doing the rest of my life. If Lana'i has been your island home, no matter where you are now, you will always have that pine-scented air, the warmth of the sun, and the golden sunsets echoing softly of yesterday, all in a home across the sea. So, ha'ina mai kapuana la. I'll end now my presentation. From the time of laughter and of youth, Lana'i Island remains my island home in song and story. Ea, ea, aloha kako.